Considering buying a business? Well, you're in the right place. If you caught our other video, you know what assets and strengths to look for when evaluating a business. But today, we're tackling an equally important topic, the potential risks you need to consider before making a purchase. Identifying risks early on ensures you're making an informed decision and know exactly what you're getting into. Here are all the different risks you should look into before you move forward with the purchase. First, financial risks. A business with great potential can still fail if the financial foundation isn't solid. For example, debt. Look closely at the company's liabilities. Does it carry a large amount of debt? If so, are you prepared to take on that cash flow burden, or do you have a strategy to manage it effectively? Revenue. Examine revenue trends over the past 3 to 5 years. A consistent decline could indicate deeper issues like shrinking demand or poor management. On the other hand, a sudden jump in revenue in the past year may only be temporary. So check into the customers and sales to identify whether they're recurring customers. Cash flow. Cash flow is the lifeline of any business. Calculate the expected cash flow based on current operations and the adjusted cash flow based on any changes you expect to make once you purchase the business. Is the business cash flow enough to operate the business, service the debt, and provide for your personal needs? Be cautious if the cash inflows and outflows fluctuate significantly, as this can make funding daily operations more complex. The financial risks are a factor that make or break a deal, so don't skip your financial due diligence. Next, you'll want to look at operational risks. These risks impact how efficiently the business runs. Outdated equipment. Does the company rely on equipment that's expensive to repair or replace? Inefficient tools could mean lower productivity and higher costs for you to repair and replace. Dependence on key employees. Is the business overly reliant on certain individuals? If the key manager decides to leave, it could lead to operational chaos. Do you have a strategy to retain those employees? Supply chain issues. Review the supply chain for production. Is the business tied to just one supplier? Less diversity in supplier options can lead to disruptions in supply, stalling production and sales. Which countries are the suppliers based in? The recent tariff actions have increased the cost of products from certain countries, with further risks of changes in the future depending on the country. Having a clear understanding of these risks will help you to determine if the business is prepared to operate smoothly and pivot quickly as the market and political environment changes. Lastly, legal and compliance risks are another critical area to evaluate. Pending lawsuits. Investigate if there are any unresolved legal issues. A lawsuit can drain financial resources and damage the company's reputation. Regulatory compliance. Does the business meet all applicable industry regulations? Are processes in place to reduce the risk of taking inappropriate actions? Failing to comply could result in hefty fines or shutdowns. And intellectual property or IP. Ensure ownership rights for trademarks, patents, or copyrights are properly documented. Losing access to valuable IP could derail future growth. Consider bringing in an IP lawyer as part of the due diligence team if the IP is a significant portion of the value of the business. Addressing these legal aspects up front can save you from unexpected surprises down the line. One broader way to manage the debt and pending lawsuits risk is to buy the assets of the target business with a new entity owned by you, instead of buying the equity of the target business entity. The debt and pending lawsuits will be left for the seller to navigate. To sum it up, when buying a business, it's crucial to investigate financial, operational, and legal risks thoroughly. Remember, identifying these risks is not about walking away, it's about setting yourself up for success. And don't worry, we're not stopping here. Stay tuned for the next video in our series where we'll guide you through reviewing the financials and what to look for. Looking for more financial tips for small businesses? Subscribe to our channel today.